Since its first entry in 2001, the WRC series from Sony and Evolution Studios has seen various improvements throughout the years. WRC 3 was no exception. If you compare their efforts with that what Codemasters have done in the years between 2002 and 2004, it's awesome to see the WRC series improving step by step. Speaking of 2004, today's topic will be the officially licensed video game of the 2004 WRC season, WRC 4. This game released exclusively for the PlayStation 2 on the 22nd of October 2004 in Europe and on the 7th of April 2005 in Japan. Whilst the real-life season is best known for the start of the Sébastien Loeb, or the French, or the Sébastien domination streak, let's take a look at Evolution Studios' efforts on their fourth rally game in 4 years.
2, 1, go. 3 right into long 4 left. 4 left into 4 right opens plus 6 right.
As you would expect, all teams, drivers and events from the 2004 WRC season were included. This was the debut year for the Peugeot 307 WRC, which included a 4-speed transmission in 2004, which backfired spectacularly, and it also saw the debut of the Mitsubishi Lancer WRC04, marking Mitsubishi's return to the WRC after a 1-year break. Alongside the WRC cars, for the first time ever in the WRC franchise, the feeder series, called Super 1600, made their way into the officially licensed game, including cars like the Ford Fiesta, the Suzuki Ignis, or the Renault Clio. Unfortunately, none of the current JWRC drivers like Per Gunnar Andersen or young Chris Meek were included in the game. Instead, we had to live with fictional drivers. That's honestly a big shame, seeing as it ruins the authenticity of the class. Disappointment also summarizes the newly introduced Group N cars. Sure, you got the likes of the Subaru Impreza, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8, or the Proton Pert, which is just a rebadged Lancer Evo 7. But this class didn't even have a separate championship, so what's the point of having them? Well, I guess these are just some nice bonus cars. Returning from the last 2 WRCs are the Extreme cars in newer specs. For some unknown reason, the Mitsubishi Extreme car was missing, which is a shame, but thankfully the Extreme car class still got its own championship, and the real-world WRC drivers were your opponents. There is still a lack of historical cars like the Group B monsters or its successor Group A cars. Alongside the usual game modes, Championship mode or single stage, there were several new additions. The biggest one was the Pro Driver Challenge. Here you were placed in 12 scenarios, varying between racing on special test tracks against other opponents, winning a rally with a broken car, or winning several rallies to win a championship. This is a concept which sounds promising. Unfortunately, the goal is always the same: win or repeat. The worst part about it is that depending on how fast you go, you will earn more points to spend on unlocks. And if you are not fast enough, you have no chance of unlocking all the content. This is the first game where you must earn points to unlock more cars, stages and even car evolutions. You earn points by completing the Pro Driver Challenge scenarios, winning a rally or winning a championship. You can see all your achievements in the trophy room, which is a cool addition. By the way, do you want to hear a cool story? Finally, after 3 games, you only need to win the WRC Championship once. So, you can immediately skip the easiest difficulty and jump on the hardest difficulty instead. This is a welcomed addition, and I hope that this won't be altered in the next game. Another interesting mode is Super Special Challenge. Here, you race against the AI on all the Super Specials. The best combined time wins. Sadly, this mode seems to be very easy, so it was not that hard to beat. For beginners, this game also includes some rally tests, where, in a similar fashion to the licensed tests of Gran Turismo, you must beat a time to complete the challenge. These times are hard though, and lack of explanation for beginners really makes these scenarios even harder than it should be. Also, instead of a single test track, we now have multiple different tracks in tarmac, snow and gravel, where you can refine your skills. So far, Evolution Studios have changed the handling every single WRC game up to this point. The first WRC was nearly too easy to control. WRC2 Extreme, however, was so stiff that it killed my enjoyment of the game. WRC3 was a massive step up, but it still lacked some refinement. But in WRC4, I can happily report that things have changed in a positive direction. The cars feel agile enough, they can slide through different sections of a stage, and you can feel the difference between a front-wheel drive and a four-wheel drive. And it makes sense as well, so good job Evolution Studios. The tarmac feels really grippy, maybe even too grippy at certain speeds, so you need to be careful there. The handling model really shines on gravel and snow. Gone is the stiffness, and it just feels so satisfying to slam your cars through the stages, just like Colin Mcrae would have done. I'd even argue that the handling model feels way better than Colin Mcrae Rally 2005, as the cars do not turn from the center in WRC4, unlike the Colin Mcrae Rally series was known for back in the day. If they could refine the tarmac handling a bit more, it would be perfect. The collision model is also better than in WRC3. It feels a bit more realistic in many situations. The AI is decent enough, but I still had no issues beating them, except for the hackforce sprint in Sweden. I don't know what they did to the AI, but they're just so quick there that it is really hard to beat them without cheating. But apart from that, the AI is actually good. Damage seems to be solid again, yet still unspectacular in comparison to the Colin Mcrae Rally series. Mechanical damage can have a big effect on your performance, but you really have to kill your car to suffer massively from it. Unlike in WRC3, you're finally able to repair your car between stages. The bad thing about that is that there's still no service park, meaning you can easily repair your car after each stage. This doesn't make any sense, but I'm still glad you have the option to repair your car by yourself. The setup menu has also been reworked, including a much detailed setup menu where experts can spend some time getting some more speed from the car. However, you still have no control over your tire choice. This sucks, but hey, we can fine-tune our setup. It's just a shame that the rallies all feel the same. There's still no dynamic weather in this game, and there are no random events happening. That means that the stages feel the same. This should be improved in the future to increase the replay value of these games.
Dip and 1 right into 2 left. Over crest into 2 right and 3 left. Long straight and 1 right. 3 left. Very long 3 right.
Whilst the gameplay is good and the content is solid, the presentation leaves a lot to be desired. Unlike in the past WRC titles, there's no proper introduction to the WRC Championship and a slight introduction to each rally. This sucks and removes the TV feeling I had in the past WRC games, especially from WRC2 Extreme. This was still superb. There are still clips from the 2004 WRC season in the menu however, which is okay I guess, but it's nothing new really. Speaking of the menu, if you prefer dark mode, you will really hate this menu. If you don't care, it's not too bad. Phil Mills remains the co-driver in the English version of the game, and is still doing a solid job, albeit the numbering issue is still confusing to me. So, for Sony, a 6 left is a tight corner, and a 1 left is a flat out corner. Maybe I'm just too used to Nicky Gris style from Colin Mcrae Rally, but in fairness, it's just a personal preference. Also, when you crash your car, he will tell you what's broken. Nice touch. The main theme is a relaxing short loop, which I personally like. It's not an annoying loop like in WRC 2001. The graphics are another step up from its predecessor. The cars look a bit more detailed than the predecessor, but the biggest improvement came from the stages. Oh my god, for PS2 standards they look beautiful. From the icy roads in Monte Carlo, to the beautiful scenery in New Zealand, to the fast and flowing gravel in Finland. They all have their own character, contain some nice details in them like houses, special areas and so on. The only issue I have with those added details is the performance of the game. Sure, the game runs mostly smoothly with 50 FPS, but when you drive through water, the performance drops a bit, and the game suffers some huge pop-up, as objects in front of you disappear for the time being. It shows that Evolution Studios are slowly but surely reaching the limits of the PS2 console. The sounds are solid, each car sounds different, and I guess they come close to real life counterparts. Of course, it's still 100% accurate, but it would be harsh to expect that from a PS2 game.
To right, into, long to left, and long hairpin right. Over bridge, into.
Well, that's it. That's the 4th game of the series I'm starting to love. No, seriously, I'm really impressed on how they improved so much from its basic and unspectacular first game. I can confidently say that WRC 4 is the best WRC game so far in the Sony WRC series. So many things have improved, like the handling, the stages, and in the content front they were improving as well with the inclusion of the Super 1600 and the Group N. And whilst I think the championship needs more variety with the weather and some random events to keep up the replay value, I will still give this game an 8 out of 10. I wonder if they have now given up with the improvements and moved to the classic style of sports games with tiny changes for each new game, or if they will keep grinding and keep improving their series. We'll see what WRC 5 has to offer. Wait, the next game is not called WRC 5 and was instead named WRC Rally Evolved? Okay, now I'm actually interested.